So we last time we discussed chapter 8. Today we'll discuss is chapter 9. Okay, it's not very complicated, like I told you before. It's about audience. It's about audience appreciation. It's chapter is basically it's dealing with how can you make presentations, documents for every respective audience. Let's talk about it. So there are four main features of the audience. We have to look at the age, okay, while we are developing something. Okay, we have to look at the age of the audience. Is it of their interest? Because according to the age, we will select the font and the colors. Okay, I mean, you will not be using rainbow colors for mature people. Okay, you will be using more stylish and trendy layouts to attract young adults. As far as gender is concerned, obviously the design will change, will matter as far as the gender is also concerned. So apart from the age, you have to look at the gender. Younger girls are often attracted to pink. Males generally prefer blue spectrum. Income. Knowing this will help to attract pricing strategies. Promoting certain products are targeted for people with specific range of incomes. So we also have to actually, the third one, we have to look at income as well. We have to see that which group can be targeted with what type of product. So pricing is really important. You have to look at the group. Can they actually purchase it or not? Should they be targeted with such kind of item or not? So yes, it is one of the main feature for the audience. Interest. It's very important that before you actually target your audience, you look at their interests as well. Okay, can help with advertising content that meets the exact description of the audience interest is more likely to attract them to your product. So actually, interests, income, gender, and age. These are the four factors that are going to affect the choice the audience will opt for. Now, audience needs. Well, again, we just talked about it. So when we talk about younger people, we will be considering the following thing. Okay, and you have to keep in mind. I've written down this in points. This question could come in. Okay, I mean, this could directly come in that how would you distinguish between the audience needs of a young and senior people as far as the needs are concerned. In that case, you will mention choice of bright, colorful colors, animations, less text, because young children, they don't want to read and they will not read much. Okay, they are mostly attracted towards animation, sound, and pictures. Okay, games, activities, easy to use, attractive style, colors. Teens and adults, interesting content, balanced picture and text, clear fonts, bullet points, contrast, easy to read colors, include clear instructions. Seniors, slightly larger fonts, yeah, because obviously you want them to read easily. Fewer technical terms. Don't try to use many ICT related technical terms for senior people because they are not aware of all those abbreviation related to ICT and those technical terms. Consistent design. Okay, I just can't keep on changing it and start confusing them. Okay, and easy to use as well. So again, these points are really important. You have to keep in mind. Potential problems. Now, basically, what are we dealing with this over here? So if a product are not built towards a specific audience, well, then problems may arise and older audience may not be able to understand or read the text poorly, a younger audience. So this all are the problems. Now, if we do not, while we are marketing, while we are designing the brochures, okay, while we are designing the corporate house style for any organization, and if we do not consider the following points, we will have the following problems. Okay, you have to look at the following things. An older audience may not be able to understand or read text due to poor font design. A younger audience may not be able to understand certain text due to complex word and structure. Several audience may just find content interesting since it's not relevant enough to them. Several audience may not find content attractive enough and thus not purchase or use it at all. Very important. Okay. So you have to make sure that the content that you're providing, whatever it is, we are generically talking about it. We are not being specific. Okay. It could be a label. It could be a cover of a book. It could be a branding cover of a box. It could be anything. Younger and older audience may not understand how to use the product due to the lack of simple instructions. So keep these points in mind, that how come we could have potential problems if we did not take care of specific age groups while we were targeting and while we were designing their product details. Legal, moral, ethical, and cultural appreciation. Now, copyright legislations. Well, obviously, it's very important that we have to follow the following. Okay, there has to be a law that protects books and all that. So again, it's more related to your Data Protection Act rule. Okay, it is automatic right and does not need applying for. The person who owns the rights must be asked before it can be used again. Software in the specific thing created and written on computer needs to be protected as it is easy for people to copy. So again, these are all your copyright legislations. Copyright laws. Again, same, your Data Protection Act 1990. It is not illegal to make copy of the software or sell. Softwares cannot be used on network unless a network license has been acquired. Not legal to use coding from the software in your own software without permission. You can't rent them out. It is illegal to use the name of the software without the permission from whom you're using. Same software protection. We have talked to take care of piracy over here. Okay. In case of softwares, we will always have is a unique reference number. We have to accept the license agreement. We will have holograms. You might have seen holograms on CDs, although they're becoming very obsolete, but still, as manuals, they're still being used by many electronics, and you'll have holograms over there, so people can't copy it. Okay. Some CDs, CD-ROM or DVD-ROM will have software that will only run for that drive. Some software will only work if that dongle or memory stick is plugged into it. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay. So this is the way this is taken care of. Creating IC solutions. Well, when creating an IC solution, all of the following have to meet. Well, legal, again, the same point. Ensure copyright laws are abided by, including not using any coding or branding from existing software. Morality. Okay, we have to make sure that we do not copy the content, and we set up fake websites. Okay, to deceive. Not okay. Ethically, we should be taking care of that. Okay, is to break the code of conduct. For example, disclosing of information about new software to rival company. It's ethically wrong. We should not be doing that. Okay, and okay. Then we have is culture. When software is released in different cultures, then their take must be taken so that people are not offended. Okay, in certain computer games, mock religion or culture beliefs. So yes, we have to take care of culture as well. Maybe some things might not look bad in our culture, but they might look bad in some other culture. So while we design something, while we create something, while we develop something, we have to take culture in point of view. We have to take ethics point in point of view. Ethically, if something, even if slightest it's wrong, we should be careful about it. Morality, we should take care of it. Legally, we should be sound, and we should take care of it. Okay, so then chapter 10, it's about communication. Technically, chapter 10, 5 years back, was practical part. You used to get email in practical, but now it's not in practical. It comes in theory. So it's all about email. We'll just talk about it. So whenever you send emails, okay, you have to make sure of some certain things which are known as the e-etiquettes, okay, and etiquettes. We have to make sure that we don't use abusive language, racist. Again, if lawfully you have to have copyrights in your email, you should have them. You have to follow the employer guidelines. Okay, if you're working for an organization and if there are certain rules that you have to follow in order to contact through email, and then that has to be followed. Okay, we cannot disobey it. Okay, security. We have to make sure that if we are using some company's email address, we have to take care of it. We have to make it as much secure as possible. Okay, so that no one will hack it. So because it will be our responsibility. So an etiquette basically means that whenever you can be communicating with people, what points you have to think. Don't be abusive. Don't send spam. It's not a part of etiquette to send 40 to 50 people emails at the same time. Be precise, though. Don't try to explain it to a lot extent. Be precise as possible. You have checked the spellings and grammatical mistakes. Yes, this is also part of etiquettes. Attachments are not too large. Again, that's also point. Don't send a file which is too damn heavy, and don't irritate people. Don't use capital letters. Very important. Okay, because when you obviously when we use capital letters means you're shouting. Okay. Don't plagiarize. Don't use too many M-tone, obviously, right? Username, IDs, and password. Obviously, it's again repetition. You know what it is. Fine. I don't have to explain it. Email groups. You know what email groups are. Okay. Companies have email groups. When you want to send it to multiple people, you set up email groups for that. Then they're again talking about is internet and intranet. We have talked about it before in chapter 4. Okay, but you know what internet and intranet is. Okay. Well, let me elaborate it again. I did talk to you about maybe that time. So basically, this is your intranet, this extranet, and this is your internet. So the smallest string that we have, we call it the intranet. Now, what do I mean by that? The smallest circle, what I mean is when limited amount of people are joined in, are allowed to collaborate. Okay, it's known as intranet. When more people are allowed to join in and collaborate and communicate, share documents, it becomes an extranet. For example, teachers and students, if they can communicate over a web portal anywhere in the world right now, wherever they are, they have a system through which they can do it. They have a network through which they can share documents, conduct video conferencing, do various things. But if we add parents to it, it is not an intranet, it becomes an extranet. Or you have your employees and the employer. One example, employee and employer. And what if so employer and employer will be your intranet. But if you add the vendors and the suppliers to the group as well, and if you grow the group more, it becomes an extranet. So intranet in a larger form is known as an extranet. And when everyone is allowed to join, it becomes an intranet. I hope it's clear. Okay. We've talked about HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, and we've talked about HTTPS as well, multiple times. Okay. In we know that HTTP is used to transfer images, text, logos, embedded objects from the server to the user computer. And basically, right? Okay. Hyperlink, you know about hyperlink. File transmission protocol is basically when you use an FTP software to transfer files from the client computer to the server. Okay, beta, all of you, are you listening? Girls, you with me, beta? Can you see my screen? Because I want to show you something.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, look here. I'm referring to FTP. So I'll show you that in Dreamweaver, we also have I want to show you that even this can come in the exam. So if it comes in the exam, the examiner will tell you the following details. So you can upload. One second. So here you go. File, new site. Okay. I'll just name this as new, let's say. I'll come to server. I will share the video of this as well with you. New. You see this plus?
Screen has any RE.
One second. Can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. File, new. Okay. I repeat again. Site, new site, right? What I'm doing is I am going to set up the FTP to upload the website from my computer to a remote server using Dreamweaver. So FTP is file transmission protocol. It's used to upload the content from the user computer through authentication techniques to the server. So I'll click on new site. I'll just type the name, any name, new server. Like I said, I will share the PDF file of this with you, how to do it. Click on this plus. And here what you can do is, again, you can name this as new, and I will be using what from here? FTP. So what is the FTP address? This will be given to you. For example, they will tell you this FTP or lgs.com, for example. Then a username and a password will be given to you, and a root folder, which probably will be /h s docs, right? Now this all information, the root directory, the username, obviously because in the CA exams, you are not going to upload, obviously you're not doing that. The examiner will just give you the details and will ask you to take a screenshot of the following and place it in the evidence document. So you should know where to put all these. That's it. Where to put the FTP address. Okay, where to select the FTP. Okay, where to type the root directory. Okay, so this you have to do well. Okay, so this is something that you, since you were discussing it, like, so FTP is a FTP client. You have to enter the login details. Okay, I already have actually. Okay, you can see over here is that if I come into files, I'll just show you. If I come into, oh, not assets, sorry. Let me just show you. If I come into files, you can see over here in mrsaem.com. And if I go to remote server, I'm connecting to my server. Okay, you see, so I am connected to my remote server to this. Okay, I can even connect my other site, so Saem.com, with the remote server. And the only reason my computer right now is connected with the remote server, okay, is because I have already entered the credentials over there. So all my files are actually over here. All of them are here. These are the files I've uploaded. Okay, right? Anyway, so very interesting, but obviously we don't have to go beyond this. There's no point. Okay. Then what we have is, again, cloud storage. Again, talked about it so many times. Blog, you know what a blog is. I talked about it in the last lecture. Blogs are for people to write their post, for them to share the experiences. Wiki is Wikipedia. You know what Wikipedia is. Social networking sites such as Facebook, talked about it so many times. Okay. Information on the internet. Well, information on the internet is all about that. You have to be careful about cars. Cars is credibility, accuracy, reliability. So you have to check how much credible the information is. It's coming from what source. Accuracy. Do you have spelling mistakes, numerical errors? Okay. If you do, you obviously will have a problem in trusting that website. Okay. reliability. You have to see how much reliable the information is. So you keep in mind the cars. Okay. Because on the internet there's a vast amount of information available. It's all the time it's not reliable, all the time it's not accurate, it can even be biased. We have to see how the information is not biased. So please take care of this point. You could get a question in which they might give you content of two websites, even in theory paper, and they might say, how can you tell that the information on this page is authentic, reliable, and the information on this page is authentic and not reliable, so on and so forth. So these are something that you have to look at. Now this is again it's a practical thing. Frankly speaking, they're talking about different extension files that you have, generic files. Okay, what layout is, what styles are, what proofing is. Okay, and then a document production starts in. So this now is all practical that started. Technically speaking, you should be going through this, but our theoretical part is done. But I think so. You are saying chapter 6 has to be done again some other time. You have these notes with you. I mean, it's fine. You can do it from the book as well. I would suggest you can do from the book, but if you've gone through the book, you can go through these notes. Okay, because this is summary of the entire book plus more points added, and then make your points ready so that next class you can ask me more points. Okay, so the theory is our theory is completed. If there are some topics in the from the previous chapters, update me about that as well. Any question? Girls, beta, any question that you have?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Okay. What you can do is you can sit back and just open up any recent or theory paper, and you can open up the marking scheme as well, and you can sit in two groups, answer and see how you're answering it. Just do some questions to test yourself right now. Can all of you do that? Okay. Just see where you stand. Randomly, just do it. Test yourself. Okay. Inshallah, Thursday ko I will be in school. Inshallah. Hopefully. Okay, all of you. See you then on Thursday. Okay.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz, beta. All the best. Please don't waste your time in practice.